Hey everyone, what's going on? Charlie here. So we're going to take a look at all of the Cboe filings that happened this year, 2021, with some brief explanations for each. And it's actually quite a bit. And now this is just Cboe. Now remember, there's 4 different exchanges for Cboe, so this is just the core Cboe. So we have 2021-001, and I apologize if it cuts off the top section of this. So on January 4th, we had the exchange proposes to amend its fees schedule with respect to expiring fee waivers and incentive programs. This has to do with order flow and market share. Cboe 2021-002, exchange proposes to amend the Silex trading platform fees schedule, likely order flow related as well. January 14th, the exchange proposes to amend Rule 5.24. Now, this was Cboe 2021-004, and Cboe Rule 5.24, Section E1 provides that trading will be conducted pursuant to all applicable system rules, except that open outcry rules would not be enforced and that all non-trading rules of the exchange would continue to apply. January 11th, Cboe 2021-005, the exchange proposes a rule to adopt an automated process pursuant to which an option will open if it is open for trading on another exchange after a specified amount of time. 2021-006, on the 14th of January, the exchange proposes a rule to amend the definition of current market value for purposes of calculating margin requirements for ETF options designated by the exchange, including SPY. Now I'll let you go ahead and pause the video and read the rest of these, because that would take about 10 minutes, and you know I like to keep my videos short. These were all effective and filed immediately, and the numbers here on screen for this one is 001 through 019. On the second screen here, this is continued, filed and effective immediately this year. Again, 021 through 038, and this is the remainder of all of the filed and effective immediately as far as Cboe for this year. Now, as far as pending rule changes for this year, we're still waiting on 2020-106 and amendment number 1 to that rule, which actually replaced it entirely. So we can see here that on November 16th, the exchange proposes to amend its rules regarding the minimum increment for electronic bids and offers, as well as the minimum increment for exercise prices of certain flex options, and clarify the rules how the system ranks flex option bids and offers for allocation purposes. That was the original filing. Then we had amendment number 1 come out on November 30th, later that month. It replaced it entirely, and it says in the filing, quote right here from the filing, specifically, the Commission recognized that most marketable retail order flow executed in OTC markets without reaching a public exchange, therefore limiting market participants that had the opportunity to interact with that order flow. So this is OTC market related, order flow related, liquidity related. It ties into that market share problem that we're going through today. So I have underlined in this paragraph below one of the most important, few sentences, and it sums it up pretty well. The proposed rule change is designed to attract order flow away from the OTC market execution, and therefore the exchange does not believe it will cause increased fragmentation, and it may actually reduce the fragmentation. So again, language that we're seeing pop up today was already filed for back then, and go figure, it's still not approved. So basically, amendment number 1 replaces 106 entirely. The filing will direct order flow away from OTC market and increase liquidity on lit exchanges. And the date for this to be designated as approved or disapproved is August 1st of this year. Next, we have pending rule change 2021-020, which proposes to adopt a new rule entirely, which is 6.10. There was a notice of designation for a longer period on May 25th of this year that puts July 11th as the date for them to designate an approval or not. And the rule itself is related to compression services. And the definition here in the rule itself says, notwithstanding Rule 5.12, the exchange may make available to market makers a multilateral compression service for certain index options identified by the exchange, pursuant to which a market maker may close or open positions in options listed on the exchange to reduce regulatory capital attributable to its portfolio. So basically, the goal of this one is a compression service that alleviates bank regulatory capital requirements attributable to a market participant's portfolio. So, F this filing. I'm glad this one is being delayed. There's also one more. It's 2021-029. This one came out in April of 21st. There was another filing. I think it actually hit the Fed register on May 4th. All it's talking about is updating current position limits on ETFs and ETNs. Again, I don't know why they do this. This is another shitty one. I'm glad this one is being postponed. So it looks to me like all the ones that should be postponed are being postponed. All the ones that we've needed to see passed are being passed. Again, we have 7 from various different exchanges being passed tomorrow, all involving the same thing: market share and order flow and liquidity. So let's see what happens.